So again, this is Early James. That's another song for us.
Well, if heaven is a hotel with no checkout time, and hell is just a motel with smoking rooms, could I get an estimation when to book my destination? I'm so sick of waiting for my skin to prune. Yes, I am. I'm just so sick. And honestly, I take either vacancy for a non-believer. A single bed is all I need. Seems I'll never marry or give a woman a child to carry. One is enough mouths to feed. Yes, it is. One is enough. For I fear the between of now and my day of dying. I don't believe it when anybody says they've been doing fine. So I guess I'm doing fine. An early flight to fall, the fight's just too close to call. I guess I'll have to see it through. Staying or going, there's just no way of knowing. So I went whichever way the wind blew. Oh yes, I did. I went whichever way. 'Cause if heaven is a hotel with no checkout time, and hell is just a motel with smoking rooms, did I get an estimation when to book my destination? I'm so sick of waiting for my skin to prune. Yes, I am. I'm just so sick. For I fear the between of now and my day of dying. Don't believe it when anybody says they've been doing fine. Yes, I'm doing fine.
All right, you're listening to WCW live music from Studio A, the Air Studio this afternoon from Early James. That one's called If Heaven is a Hotel. Man, it's great.
Thank you, man.
Like your lyrics sometimes are kind of funny in a weird way. Sometimes they're kind of dark and even disturbing, but they also always feel very kind of honest and almost vulnerable. Is it hard to kind of bare your soul like that?
I mean, like I think the best way to, when you are down, or it's just very therapeutic. So if you feel so depressed that you're damn near suicidal, like the best way to get it out is talk about it. A lot of people wouldn't want to talk about it, and so putting it in song and kind of laughing at yourself and like calling yourself out, it made me feel better.
That's interesting.
And also singing it, and a buddy's like, "Hey man, that song you wrote, you okay?" But yeah, it's just my form of therapy sometimes.
That's interesting. Does it take you a long time to come up with these songs? How long you suffer and agonize over each song, or do they come faster?
It's pretty varied, I would think. A lot of I think it was did not do any favors for Bob Dylan to say, like, if the song doesn't come in 5 minutes, then it's not a good song. Like, I think that's bullshit. Like, that's not true at all. And I think you're always working in the back of your mind, even if you're not sitting down writing. Like, you're still, and I think that's why something can come out fast, because maybe you've been internalizing it.
Right.
And but yeah, it's I'll sit with a song sometimes for years before I really feel good about it.
The song we just heard, you co-wrote that with Dan Auerbach, is that right?
Which one?
If Heaven is a Hotel, was that?
I think maybe. I
It's
don't
credited
remember
that
writing
way,
that.
anyhow.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, Dan Auerbach, you've worked a lot with him, produced
Oh,
the
yeah,
record.
yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. How did you hook up with him, and what's that been like working with him?
I met him through Brian Saab, actually, who I was talking about earlier. Brian moved to Nashville, and long story short, ran into my who would become my manager at the time, Clay Bradley. Showed him a music video of just me playing solo, and Clay had to go to see Dan the very next morning, so I guess it was still fresh on his mind. And because he's working with Kendall Marvel, so they were putting out that Kendall Marvel record, and Clay showed it to Dan, and Dan was like, I didn't even know Clay at the time, and Dan was like, "Can you get him here?" And he texted me at 10 o'clock at night and was like, "Hey, can you be in Nashville tomorrow morning? Yeah, got you a meeting." He wasn't even my manager yet, and I was like,
And you said
he was
yes.
like, "Can you be in Nashville first thing in the morning?" I was like, "Yeah." And I thought they were gonna harvest my organs or something, but it turned out to actually be Dan Auerbach. So just dumb luck.
And he produced your record?
Mm-hmm. The first one and this one.
Yeah. How would you describe the sound of the album? I mean, it's a full electric band. It's piano sometimes it's crunchy guitars and stuff.
I don't know. I think I like to think that it's. I think I'm probably the worst person to ask, but a little dark, sparse in some, not very busy. I don't know. It's I'm not the one to ask.
No, I think those are good. Those are good descriptions. It also it feels old in cool ways, like an old soul to it, know. And the production work seems to sort of catch that. It's echoey at times, and
man, it's hard to not get a good sound in that studio.
Yeah.
So.
When you're writing songs, are you hearing a band? Was it totally weird to hear this band suddenly come up into your songs, or are you writing them with that in mind? Or?
For sure. I mean, I have maybe written 3 songs tops on an electric guitar.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I've written one. I'm just gonna, guesstimate. But no, it's always fascinating because all I hear, I have a broad idea. But in my head, I've always heard it as just an electric guitar with bass and drums, and then we'll figure out. But other parts, because I'm always trying to play every part I can imagine on the guitar as much as I can, and so yeah, it's super. It's amazing to see it, slowly come together, because it's all done live, so it's not like. People are going in and it's just come up with on the spot. So it is the closest thing to magic, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, that's cool. The record we're talking about is called "Strange Time to Be Alive." It's early. James is playing with us live today, and he's again this evening at the French Broad River Brewery and in Asheville, North Carolina. Drunken Prayer opening up that show 6-ish or so, get started, and early James going on around 7 or so with the band.